Hi guys, Ray here, City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well indeed. Well, this is a late decision to do a stream. Excuse me. Been out working today. I wasn't expected back until later on today, but weather's so bad. Spoke to my client, and I did a job this morning. I was supposed to go up to Southport, and I decided that the weather's so bad. It's a care home. People wanted to see me working outdoors, and it's just too windy, rainy, and everything. So I'll go there next week instead. So I'm home early, and I'm going to talk about Lucas Paquetá because the news is that any potential deal is off. Nothing's going to happen. Off the cards, not on the table. Lots of questions are going to come up from this. What are we going to do for creativity? What are we going to do? Not only has İlkay Gündoğan left, Mahrez has left, KDB's injured. Okay, he's been out for a long time. Okay, Bernardo should be back, but he's not the most creative player. He's all right, but he's not the most creative. He's not like İlkay Gündoğan or KDB. He's not at their levels. So, but he should be back anyway. But that's the question. When your two attacking midfielders from last season, Gündoğan and KDB, are not available, not around or injured, what do you do for creativity? A lot of people, like me, very, very, very worried. Don't know what we're going to do. But we thought we were going to get Lucas Paquetá. I was more than 50% convinced that we were going to get Lucas Paquetá because I believe, and this is what the stories say, that we put in this £70 million verbal offer for a guy that West Ham bought last year for £53 million. It didn't set, the streets alight. It didn't really, didn't set the world on fire in his first 2/3 of the season at West Ham, and then his latest period at last 1/3 of the season. Apparently, West Ham fans say he did better. In fact, he was better than Declan Rice. He is their best player. And okay, with the transfer market as it is, you would expect West Ham, or maybe not, but West Ham are looking for top dollar. And I think they pushed it too far. City wanted to pay about 70 million. West Ham wanted over 85 million. And the way Manchester City operate, the way we don't want to ever get stung is we have a ceiling. We have a limit. And City say, we will not go above our limit on what we will pay for players. They've done it for many, many, many years. And here's the thing. I think generally, in most cases, they've been proved right. Occasionally, they'll get it. Once they get it wrong, but they've got a valuation and they will stick to it. If somebody somewhere tries to do the dirty on us, get greedy, City tend to walk away. Hey, Alexis Sanchez, City wanted him, walked away. Harry Maguire wanted him, walked away. Fred, I think we made inquiries apparently, walked away. Koulibaly, too expensive, walked away. And look, we got lucky because Koulibaly turned out to be pants for Chelsea. So I believe from what I'm reading, what I'm hearing, that West Ham are demanding far too much money for the transfer of Lucas Paquetá. We're talking 85, at least a minimum of 85 million pounds, up to potentially 100 million pounds. Look, they pulled Arsenal's pants down with Declan Rice. They pulled them down. Declan Rice, England midfielder. Okay? Lucas Paquetá, okay, he doesn't play for England, but plays for Brazil. But, you wouldn't class him in the same category as Declan Rice. I wouldn't. You hardly heard of Lucas Paquetá, okay? He did so poorly in the first 2/3 of the season that I'd never heard of him. Honestly, I didn't know who he played for when I heard City were interested in Lucas Paquetá. I felt we were going to buy him because partly because we were desperate. But West Ham, you could argue, don't need the money. They don't need the money. They just got £100 million for the sale of Declan Rice. And whereas I didn't think we could buy him for 70 million, I thought 80 to 85 was what we could get him for. I thought West Ham would let him go for around that level. That's just my feeling. And I thought we might go to that level. But I think City have put a limit, and that's it. Now, Paquetá might have done brilliantly for us. If we weren't ready to pay £70 million for him, then you've got to believe that he would have done well for us. You've got to trust in Cheeky and Pep and the team behind them that they know what they're doing and they will get it right. Get me words right. More often than not, and by a long way, more often than not, they get it right. Look at recent times. Who did we get? Remember, we got Ferran Torres, 20 million, and we sold him for 50. Now, I thought he was a good player, and I thought he would have done well at City, but hey, he chose to move on. But we made big money on this guy. Lots of players we've bought inexpensive, some very expensive. Look at Josko Guardiola. But look at Kovacic. Was it 22, 25 million quid for Kovacic? I think that was a steal. So Julian Alvarez, how much did we pay for him? About 16 million. Edison, 35 million. These are steals of a deal. Akanji, 15, 16 million pounds. It's a steal. So most decisions I think we've got right. And when we've let players go, we've been proved right that they haven't gone on to better things. Jadon Sancho, all right, he left of his own accord. We let Delph go. What's he done? Nothing. Okay. Zinchenko, okay. Jesus, nah, not for me. They're not pulling up trees. They're improved Arsenal, but they're not pulling up trees. So I think generally we make the right decisions. And if they've decided that Paquetá is not for us, hey, I'm good with that. Maybe they've changed their mind because of what Cole Palmer's done. Maybe Cole Palmer has helped them to change their mind. I mean, Paquetá's what, 5 years, 4.5, almost 5 years older than Cole Palmer, I think. And maybe they've turned around and said, actually, look what Cole Palmer's done. I said it if you watched my video, I think yesterday, that I believe Cole Palmer is maturing. He's making better decisions. He's not losing the ball as much. He's still losing it more than you'd like, but he's 21 years old. Give the guy a chance. Give him time. Let him get more experience. Let him learn. So I think maybe they've looked at Cole Palmer and said, look, in the Community Shield, he came on. Stunning goal. Is that creative enough for you? In the Super Cup, now some people have been very unfavourable when they've commented about Cole. They said he did nothing until he scored that goal. He was rubbish. I don't agree. I don't agree with them. He had some moments, but he did what Pep wanted him to do. He wasn't, okay, maybe not to the full extent of what Pep wanted, but he wasn't losing the ball. He wasn't taking too many risks. And look, he scored a stunning goal. He had a couple of other good moments. He's only going to get to the level we want and we need if he has game time. He needs to be playing games. So maybe City have looked at it and said, if West Ham aren't going to play ball on Lucas Paquetá on the fee, if they want 85, 90 million quid, let's walk away, because Cole Palmer seems like he's doing it now. It might be we give Cole Palmer 2, 3, I think we've got 3 more league games before the end of the window. Maybe he gets 2 or 3 games to see what he can do, whether he can be consistent. Okay, whether he can keep improving. And then we might say we don't need Paquetá. On the other hand, if Cole Palmer doesn't do it, maybe we go back and offer more money for Paquetá. But we don't generally do that. I thought we might with Paquetá. I thought we might push it to 85, but maybe West Ham are just asking for far too much. Let's go through some of your comments, guys, and then we'll get back onto what I think. Derek says, love your work, Ray. Great talk show. Can't get enough. Derek from Perth. Hey, Derek, good day. sorry. It just slipped out. Struth. What am I like? Good to have you on board, Derek. Iptros, absolute shambles of a winner. It's not good so far. He's not worth. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he is worth that. Declan Rice is overrated. Glad we swerved that one. Kovacic for 25 million. Unbelievable, Jeff. Absolutely, Peter. Totally agree. I think we did well to get a guy who's won 3 Champions Leagues. Hopefully for this at the end of this season. Contact line, the West Ham fan. Lucas Paquetá has an £85 million release clause for next year. You could have got him for over 80, but City won't do. I think City will do 70, but they won't move up to 80. I think that's the issue. And look, who knows what's going to happen to Paquetá now? Is he going to be so? He's been very professional about it, but now if he finds the deal is off, maybe he might not be so professional about it. He's going to be miffed because don't get me wrong, he would have had his heart set on joining Pep at Manchester City. Who wouldn't? And even West Ham fans say, yeah, look, they totally understand why he would leave West Ham for Manchester City to play under Pep and win more trophies. Okay. So maybe his head has been turned. He wants to come to City. Maybe he kicks up a stink about this. Maybe he says to West Ham, I'll tell you what, I'll pay the 10 million quid myself. If City can offer me a 5-year deal on 10 million quid a year, I'll pay the difference myself. I mean, that would Fernandinho did something like that when he was leaving. Was it Shakhtar? He paid some money himself to come. So that'd be a big, big step for Paquetá to take. But if the difference is 10 million, that is some commitment. That would be some commitment. Hi, Renzo. Hope you're well, buddy. Peter says Alvarez. I think, we were talking about Alvarez. Julian Alvarez. Cheap. Derek says, no, on our board, it's probably a smart screen. Not the real target we want. Give it time. I'm sure they'll bring in a couple more before the winter closes. Well, I'm convinced, and I think Pep said so, we're going to get at least one player. I said we'll get between a minimum of one, possibly two players this window. We do need okay. Yes, I think we do need another attacking player. Whether out on the wing, I would love somebody on the wing because, as someone else says, it gives competition. Somebody who can play on either wing gives competition for Grealish. Grealish is having it too easy. He's got no one pressing him for a place. And with Foden going to be playing possibly on the right or attacking midfielder, then Grealish has got no challenge for his position. He needs that. He needs that pressure. So I think we do need somebody else in an attacking sense, either an attacking midfielder or a winger. Okay. Now, Paquetá could have been that man. Doku could be that man. There's rumours that West Ham, I think Doku's a £30 million player, but his club will want 50. And I think there was a rumour that West Ham were willing to pay 50 million quid for him. Now, lots of these rumours, we've got to accept that they're not true. Okay. Lots of rumours out there. People want to sell, stories, get clicks and hits and all that. There's a lot of clickbait around. But if there's any truth that West Ham or somebody's willing to pay 50 million for Doku, that might again push City away. I mean, can you imagine Manchester City are unable to afford players or the way they want in the transfer window? It would blow your mind. Everybody talking about City having this unlimited spending ability, and then City cannot afford the players that they want in the transfer window because the players have been priced way too high. Contacts Light says, Paquetá said that despite wanting to go to City, he's happy to say West Ham. Oh, look, he's got to say that. Come on, mate. I'm not having a go at you, but come on. He's got to turn around and say, he's not going to turn around and say, I want to go to Man City. I hate being at West Ham. He's got to be diplomatic because, hey, if the deal doesn't go through, if you've already burnt your bridges at West Ham, how can you go back? Only someone like Xhaka, granted, Xhaka that could do that at Arsenal. But if you burnt your bridges at West Ham by saying West Ham are awful or you hate being there or whatever, if you diss them, how can you go forward if the deal doesn't go ahead? So he's got to be polite at all times. Renzel says, apparently West Ham changed the terms of the deal in the last minute. They won 85 plus Cole Palmer. If they just asked for 85, I think City would have paid that. Yeah, there's no way. No way. I'll say it again. No way City would pay 85 plus Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, okay, City value at least 35 million. And that 35 million valuation was before the Community Shield. I think the Community Shield should have added at least probably 5 million to Cole Palmer's valuation. Stunning goal. The man of the match second half performance against Sevilla should put Cole Palmer in around between 50 and 60, nearer to 60 million pounds than before. And you can ask me, how on earth can you do that? But West Ham are doing it. They paid 52, 53 million pounds for Paquetá last summer. He hadn't pulled up any trees. And now they want 85 million plus Cole Palmer. You know what you can do, West Ham? You can do one. Do one, West Ham, if you think you can have Cole Palmer plus 85 million pounds for Paquetá. I'd rather go into the season with Cole Palmer. I want to give the kid a chance. Look, obviously Pep and the team at Man City know a million times more than me. They're a million times better than me at judging players. But I want to see Cole Palmer have that one more season, that one more chance to make it at City. Chris says we should definitely get Doku. Grealish needs competition. Do you know what? Honestly, if West Ham are playing hardball on Paquetá, I'd put a sneaky bid in for Mitoma from Brighton. It ain't going to happen because Brighton will... Look, Brighton have pulled Chelsea's pants down on Cucurella last summer, and they pulled... was it last summer or the summer before? They pulled Chelsea's pants down on Moises Caicedo, 115 million quid. And obviously, they don't need the money. They might try and pull our pants down big time. But they wanted Cole Palmer. They were willing to pay 30 million quid for Cole Palmer. So maybe we could go in there and say, look, we want... Here's the thing, it work against us. But if Brighton had bid 30 million and we said we want 35 or 40, they know that's the price. So if we say, actually, Cole Palmer's worth 50 million, you want 100 for Mitoma, we'll give you 50 million plus Cole Palmer, and we'll take Mitoma off your hands. Hey, that works for me. That works for me. So if West Ham are pushing it too far, go for Mitoma. Look what happened with the Koulibaly. Even though, if you remember, City's chief operating officer, Omar Barada, said we weren't interested. I don't believe that at all. I'm 100% convinced that City were interested in buying Khalid Koulibaly. Now, the price was too high. We ended up with, which I think we wanted then, Jules Koundé. We ended up with, who did we get 3 years ago? Was it 3 years ago? Who did we get? If I remember correctly, it was Ruben Dias. Ruben Dias was the fella I believe we got instead of Koulibaly and Koundé because they were asking for too much. Rolls Royce of a defender. We've got no complaints about Ruben Dias. So we did well out of that. We didn't allow ourselves to be stung with Koulibaly. We didn't allow ourselves to be stung with Jules Koundé. And we ended up with Ruben Dias. It's the same if we want Kvaratskhelia. Napoli will want 120, 150 million quid. I mean, if they wanted 100 to 120 before, the way they've seen other prices the Premier League teams paying, if Arsenal can pay 105 million for Declan Rice, if Chelsea can pay 115 million pounds for Moses Caicedo, if Liverpool were ready to pay 100 million pounds plus for Moses Caicedo, then Napoli will reckon City will be prepared to pay 150 million pounds for Kvaratskhelia, and that ain't going to happen. Not in a month of Sundays. No matter how much we like the guy. Joshua Guardiola, there was talk of us having to go to 90 to 100 million. I think we ended up somewhere in the 70s, low to mid 70s plus add-ons. I think that's expensive, but it's that's the market at the moment. Let's have a look. Contact season. City just won't pay the money. They won't pay 85 million quid. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Where someone will accept anything over 80, I don't think City go there. Unless we get beat by Newcastle and struggling in other games to be creative. Unless we get another injury. Unless we want to get rid of Cole Palmer and we decide he's not ready to be good enough. He's not good enough to stay at City. Then maybe we come back with the right money. Contact Light says, there's a bit of a civil war at West Ham at the minute with Staten wanting young players while Moyes wants Premier-proven older players. West Ham fans won't mind Paqueta leaving. Yeah, look, I don't think they'll mind if the money's reinvested. I can see where Moyes is coming from because it's a problem for managers, okay, these days because of the short-sightedness of the owners and boards that they want instant success. Okay, the only way that managers think they can guarantee that instant success or instant non-failure is by getting Premier League proven older players, as Contact Light has said. Paqueta, he's too, as West Ham fans told me a few weeks ago, he's too good for West Ham. He would look even better playing with better players. And some people think West Ham should just take the money, 70 million quid, go and reinvest that in 2 or 3 players. I mean, if West Ham could have got Carlos, I mean, look what West Ham could have done for 70 million or for Paqueta's money. They could have got Carlos Borges. He was only about 15 million quid. They could have got Cole Palmer for about 35 million quid. That's 50 million quid. Okay. And they could have had half the money for Calvin Phillips. I mean, Calvin Phillips doesn't want to leave, but maybe we could have pushed him out. Now, West Ham could have had Calvin Phillips, or they've got this Alcaraz guy now instead, but you could have had Calvin Phillips, Premier League player, England international. You can't say he's not good enough. You could have had him. You could have got Cole Palmer. You could have got Borges. So you could have got those 3 players. I reckon you could have got all 3 players for 90 million quid. And you could have pushed City. I think you'd have had to give us some money. Maybe we'd have asked for 5 or 10 million quid. But you'd have got 3 quality players. I think 3 quality players who would have improved your side, but you chose asking for too much. Andy's pushing for this Wirtz or Goncalves, I don't know how to say that, mate. Gonçalves, I don't know. I don't really know much about them. Akash Safety said cheeky. Oh, Akash is dissing him. Slept throughout the window. No, come on, Akash. You're always dissing cheeky. You're always negative, man. You're always negative. I bet you're complaining about the penalties that, we sent the goalie the wrong way, but they weren't high enough. Come on, man. No. Overall, we've done incredible business with Cheeky at the helm. Incredible business. Got to look at the bigger picture. Just so the reasons that Paqueta deal is dead has been made confidential by West Ham. They're not confidential. Akash, in Akash's opinion, if Man City value Grealish at 100 mil, then all the players you were mentioning are worth more than. City didn't value Grealish at that. That was a buyout clause, okay? And yeah, look, okay, City paid it, so they did value him at 100 million. That was a buyout clause. It's a funny old thing because if City valued Grealish at 80 and went in at 80 with Aston Villa, and Aston Villa said, no, we want 100, would City have walked away? Will City accept that they have to pay buyout clauses, but they want if a player's got one, and if he doesn't have one, they want to negotiate and they stick to a price. It's weird. It's weird. West Ham can have Phillips and 60 million for Paqueta. I think that's a bit light on Phillips. He's worth 40, 45 million. And to be honest, even though he hardly played for us, his value should have gone up. I mean, look, Paqueta's value has gone up from 52, 53 million to 85. It's gone up by more than 50%. Why can't Phillips' value go from 40 million to 60 million or 65 million? Same principle. Akash says, Leicester thrashing us 5-2 led us to sign Diaz. I hope for this season's sake, Newcastle. Oh, come on, Akash. Oh, come on. That's not called for. On another day, you'd have been suspended for 5 or 10 minutes for that, mate. You'd have been put in the sin bin. I'll let you off this once, mate, just because you've been a loyal follower for a long time. But he's a West Ham player, has 4 years left in his contract. You can't bully. I totally agree, Harry. Totally agree. No, Harry. I think City are ready to let Palmer go. He have to meet the valuation. I've said all along, it's West Ham's right to ask for what they want, and it's City's right to walk away from this because they value him at a different valuation. I don't think City are bullying him. City regularly walk away from players, okay, and let them go elsewhere. And it's the same way City are well within the right to ask for 40 or 50 or even 60 million for Cole Palmer. Well within the rights. So everybody's within their rights. No one's bullying. I don't think anybody's done anything wrong here. Ian says, City paid 100 million for Grealish as that was his release figure, no negotiation needed. Absolutely. But my point is, Ian, if Grealish had no release clause and City had bid, for argument's sake, 80 million, and Villa said we want 100, would City have just walked away? That's the thing. Not for 1 minute do I believe City valued Grealish at £100 million because he is not a £100 million player. Even in this transfer window, he's not a £100 million player. Akash, West Ham are smart. They know KDB's out for 4 months and we have the money. Well, they were doing this before, Akash. They were doing this before KDB got injured. They wanted 85 million, 80 to 85 as a minimum. They were doing this before KDB got injured. Now they're just firming up their stance. They're hardening their resolve because they know City are desperate. Hence, they are trying to milk us. Our body's responsible for us being in this mess. No, come on, Akash. If KDB wasn't injured, people would be saying, play Foden as an attacking midfielder with KDB. We've got Grealish on the left. We've got Bernardo on the right. We've got Cole Palmer coming through. We've got Alvarez as well. And we've got Erling Haaland. We've got plenty. That's what people would be saying if KDB wasn't injured. I think Mahrez leaving has thrown us a curveball because 2 months ago, I don't think we expected that. We certainly didn't expect that. Mahrez said it himself. No, I'm not, it wasn't true. And then the guy disappeared. I mean, you can't believe what some people say. So I think we've been caught on the hop. Mahrez, look, Gundogan leaving, I said that months and months and months ago, that probably back in March or even before that, I expect Gundogan to leave because he's not signing a contract. I just expect him to leave. Because if he says, I'm not signing a new contract, that gives a little bit of bad taste and a bit of bad blood between him and the City fans. A little bit. I don't think it's that much, but there'll be some people who would have had a go at him. when they thought he might be staying, people didn't have a go at him. The ones that would have had a go, and they only had a go after he's left, and then he don't care now. He don't care. So West Ham have been smart, but I think City have just been unlucky. I think it's dreadful bad luck that KDB's injured and that Mahrez went off to Saudi. I mean, he couldn't resist whatever it was, £25 million a year. Couldn't resist it. Centralises Moyes needs instant success as he is out on his ear at the end of the season. As for getting players in, West Ham have spent £60 million out of a budget of £200 provided by players who have left West Ham. Oh, yeah, absolutely, West Ham have got the money. I mean, you had that run in the Europa Conference League. I don't know how much money you made out of that, but it's got to be at least 30 million quid. At least. I'll be shocked. And now you're in the Europa League. You'll make a good bit of money out of the Europa League. Selling players, obviously 105 million for Declan Rice. And the money from the UEFA Conference League and the Europa League campaigns will see you guys right. You've got money to spend if you want to spend it. But as is your right, you're going to hold out for what you think is the best possible deal. Why is the Doku deal taking so long? That's concerning. Renzo, my worries are with the Guardiola deal, okay? Let's step back. I say when things take too long, you've got to start worrying. When İlkay Gundogan wouldn't sign a new contract, I said he's going because it's taking too long. When Kyle Walker had agreed apparently in terms with Bayern Munich and it wasn't going through, I said I expect Kyle Walker to stay because, hey, if he's agreed terms, why isn't he going? City worked hard to keep him. Bernardo Silva, I said months and, definitely in July, definitely, and possibly even before. I expected Bernardo Silva to stay. I've done a few videos on that, partly on what I think, my opinion, partly on the financial element, because I said Barcelona can't afford him. Barcelona cannot afford him. So he ain't going there. Where else can he go? We're not going to really want him to go somewhere else in England, maybe PSG, but they're a basket case. I mean, PSG with Messi, yes, attractive. PSG without Messi, without Neymar, and Kylian Mbappe throwing a tantrum, not so exciting. It's not such a attractive proposition anymore. Please take a look at Florian Wirtz's stats and tell me he does not offer better value than Paqueta, given his age and potential. It's not his stats. I mean, to be honest, I need to look at his. Let me have a look. I will have a quick look at him, but this is the problem. I've said it many, many times. Let's look at Florian Wirtz. All right, I'm going to watch it later, okay? Let's put it on pause. I'll watch that. But the thing is, okay, one of the problems is stats can be misleading. Okay, stats can be misleading. Now, Florian, I'll give you some information because there's been a couple of people talking about Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz is only 20 years old. He's only just turned 20. He's an attacking midfielder. He's just a bit taller than me, 1.76 m, 5'9". 170. That sounds a bit odd. Anyway, he is at Bayer Leverkusen. He spent 10 years at Cologne, and he's now at Bayer Leverkusen. 14 goals in 77 appearances in 3 years. Okay, that's 1 in every 5.5 games. Exactly 1 in every 5.5 games, which is all right. Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, I'm not going to look at his assists, but here's his goal scoring stats. In 2020-21, where he had a decent number of games, he had 29 games, he scored 5 goals, 1 in 6. Very good. Following season, he had 24, this is just in the league, 24 league games. He scored 7 goals. That's approximately 1 in every 3. And I'll include his Europe, because I guess that was Europa League. That season, he scored 10 goals in 31 games. Last season, across the season, he was okay in Europe, but he scored 1 goal in 17 Bundesliga appearances. 1 goal. Not good. Not good for me. In Europe, he was all right. He got 3 goals in 8 games. He always seems to do all right in Europe, but I don't know enough about him. But here's the thing: if you go and watch players on YouTube, everybody can look brilliant on YouTube. You just need 2 or 3 minutes of skill. I went to see, was it Doku or somebody else the other week, and it might be Doku. The first minute of a 7.5 minute or whatever video was about Doku's stats, and then they show the goals repeated once or twice in some videos. They show slow-mos, they show different angles. And actually, he might have, in that 7.5 minute video, scored 7 or 8 goals, shown 5 or 6 moments of fantastic play. But that doesn't cover what he's done, what he's done over a longer period of time. Go and have a look at someone like Joe. I'm sure, older City fans will tell you how bad he was. And no, he wasn't. Okay. You can go and find clips on YouTube of players scoring great goals. But if you scored one goal in a season, one great goal a season, and you were here for 3 seasons and they put 3 or 4, 3 great goals and 3 decent goals together, you might look great on YouTube. It doesn't work like that. There's a guy, I think his name was Gatto. He's a juggler. Okay. He's a juggler. Okay. Now, he was world class. Anthony Gatto. He was world class. I think he was juggling when he was about 4 or 5 years old, kind of taught himself. Now, he said he used to do this trick where I can't remember how many skittles he was doing. I think he was doing it behind his back, under his leg. Okay. And he could do it, whatever it was, 11 skittles or something. A couple of guys put videos up on YouTube or whatever of them doing it, but they only did it for like 1 loop or something. And they did it once. He said, if you're doing it once in 100, you can't do this. Whatever it is, if you do it once in 100, you can't do it. You've got to be doing it 99 in 100 or 100 in 100 you can do it. Just because you got lucky once and you got it on tape doesn't mean you're any good. And it's the same with people like Joe and others. Just because you got a few minutes of great stuff on video doesn't mean you're any good. Honestly, that is the truth. I've only got a little bit of battery left, guys. I didn't on my computer, on my laptop. I didn't think I'd be on for this amount of time. I thought I'd be on for about 15 minutes, and I'll do one. Get down the gym. Akash's in the end. Fans like myself want some dopamine. Absolutely, don't we all? I remember getting upset over us not signing Ronaldo, and then it turned out to be good. We just have to trust the board now to get it right. Hey, Akash. That's the spirit. We've got to trust the board because, hey, we've won 5 league titles in 6 seasons. We've won the European Cup. The Champions League. We won the FA Cup last season. We won 2 FA Cups in the last 6 seasons. We won 4 League Cups. Oh, come on. We've done the treble. We've got the 3-peat. We're going for the 4-peat. We're going for a double or a treble, double-treble. I mean, come on. We've got so much to look forward to. We've got 1 trophy in the bag already with the only English side, I think, to hold all these 4 trophies at the same time. And if we can get that Club World Cup, obviously we'll be the only English club to hold all 5 in at the same time. We have done one, absolutely, Harry. I think City have done one. City have walked away. Contact says, I have to go, but I wish you the best. Oh, yeah, good luck, mate. And hopefully your season, hopefully you do well in the Europa League and you have a decent season, but who knows? I've not got you for going down. I think even though you lost Declan Rice, I think you got enough good players in, and I think you'll be all right. Juventus wants to offload Pogba. No. Come on, man, no. Unlucky with not signing Paqueta, says Ras. Yeah, it is what it is. If we get him, great. If we don't, we move on. We don't. We'll be all right. West Ham, I wonder why insult West Ham. I'm not saying that. Who's insulting West Ham, Harry? City have got an evaluation. City have got a valuation for him. City have offered that money. West Ham don't want to accept that. They want more. City walk away. No one's insulting anybody. City aren't insulting West Ham. West Ham aren't insulting City, really, because West Ham, even though the guy's not done anything, you put him up by 50%. You put his more than 50%. You put his price up. That's your right. You can do whatever you like. Absolutely. Mazont. Oh, I'm going to forget your name right now. Mazont Sundu. Fetiana. Everybody's brilliant on YouTube. Absolutely. Andy Hoyle. Florian is a very good player. He's a very good player. With a poor side on the Pep, he would be a baller. Yeah. Come on, you Irons. Ras. Come on, you Irons. Dre, how you doing, buddy? To be fair, guys, it would be because of some fools paid 100 million for Rice and Calcedo. Hiked up prices. Absolutely. No one's saying Arsenal are destroying football. No one's saying Chelsea are well, some people are, but no one's saying that. They push these prices to ridiculous levels. He's got an 85 million that kicks in next summer, but City will have moved on, Jamie. Look at Harry Kane. City wanted Harry Kane. Harry Kane wanted City. Okay? It didn't happen. City walked away, never went back to Harry Kane. Instead, we got Erling Braut Haaland. No one's complaining now. Dre says, the way I see it, the world is not short of very good football. It's time to do some Brighton-type scouting and give youth a chance. We don't give youth a chance. Otherwise, we wouldn't have even been looking at Paqueta. We'd say Foden or Cole Palmer or McAtee. We'd be using one of our own. We ain't doing that. Andy Howe says, I love West Ham. Would probably support them if I didn't support City. Glad it was falling through, never worth that, says MCFC 99. But what do we do now? We've got no attacking talent. We need somebody. We need bodies. I can't see us playing Cole Palmer and Foden there. Glad it's fallen through. Oh, I read that one. Jamie says, City knew from day one that his get-out clause was triggered at 85 next summer. Why would West Ham take less? They take less because sometimes money in your hand right now allows you. Because look, let's say City paid 85 million for him next summer and the transfer market's moved on. Look, who would have thought that Declan Rice would be 105 million pounds, or Caicedo would be 115, or Martinez would be 105 or whatever, or Romeo Lavia would be 58 million. Who would have thought that? Prices are going crazy. Now, next summer, this kid might be worth 120 million, but West Ham will only get 85 million. And the players that they want to buy might have gone up in price a lot as well. So their 85 million might not get them the players that they could buy now. And sometimes you're taking a calculated risk. Sometimes buying the players now, okay, will save you money in the future. For instance, okay, a month ago, if West Ham had said, yes, we'll do Paqueta, okay, we'll take Borges and we'll take Borges for 15 million. We'll take Cole Palmer for 35. That's 50 million. Pay us 30 million quid and give us those two players. You can have Paqueta. Okay? We might have done that deal. Now, if West Ham come to City say, hang on. Okay? Hang on. Cole Palmer's worth 50 million now, 60 million now. He's got a stunning goal in the Community Shield, and he's got a cracking goal in the Super Cup on Wednesday night, and he was man of the match. So his value has gone up to 50 million, 60 million. Who's to say that's not going to happen? Who's to say if West Ham hold out next summer, player prices go up by 20 or 30%, West Ham are limited to that 85 million. But it's their decision. It's up to them what they do and the player. West Ham like to play football. Well, I tell you what, not under Moyes. Chelsea's model is destroying football. Yep, can't argue with that. Acid. I think City need to just be decisive at this point. This is what we're offering. What is your price? Yes or no? Here we go and do one. They should move on. Maybe City thought West Ham would cave in. Maybe keeping Cancelo would be beneficial now. Well, he's been frozen out. He didn't. I don't think he didn't travel to Greece for the Super Cup. Wasn't in the squad for Burnley, so he can do one as well. But Andy says Paqueta's worth 85 in the current market. Maybe. Chelsea and Saudi are skewing the market, and it's now the going rate, and it's hard to fight it. It really is. People do go for under their buy clauses all the time. Anything can happen. Paqueta could get injured, all we know. Yeah, no, that's it. Look at Leroy Sané. Now, he was going to go for a lot of money, 80 million pounds at least. He got injured in the Community Shield, and we lost about 40 million pounds on that deal. Plus, we paid his wages for a year, so it cost us 50 million quid. Anything can happen. Renzel says, Fabrizio Romano just tweeted that the deal has 99% collapsed. The Paqueta dream is over. I wonder how Paqueta will react to this. Well, I said that near the top of the show. Will he stay the utmost professional and carry on as normal? I mean, his family were in the training ground the other week, last week, saying how much they love the place. Will he carry on being professional, or will he throw his toys out of the pram? Because you got to accept that he wanted this move. He desperately wants to come to Manchester City, not because he's desperate to get away from Arsenal. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I'm going to go. West Ham. He's not desperate to get away from West Ham. I will have a go at Arsenal anytime I can, any chance I get. But he's not desperate to get away from West Ham. But the opportunity to play for City under Pep, play alongside when he's fit KDB, and you've got Rodri there, you've got Haaland there. Who wouldn't want to be playing? Let's be honest. You got Antonio or Haaland in front of you. Who would you go for? You go for Haaland every single day of the week. Akash says, Fabrizio just tweeted, we are going for a new midfielder, but hasn't revealed the name. I'm not sure if he knows the name. It's not as if Cheeky and Pepper are calling up Fabrizio Romano and say, hey, buddy, we haven't told anybody yet. We haven't even discussed it with our board yet or whatever, but this is the name of the person we want. It ain't happening. I tell you what would be really fun if we go for Wirtz after a few people have said they want us to go for Wirtz. Dre, well, Paqueta will partly have his agent to blame for letting him go to West Ham in the first place. It's a risk you take when you go to club as a stepping stone. I understand that, but he also looked at it as an opportunity. Look, it's the same as Romeo Lavia. City's buyback clause on Romeo Lavia kicks in next summer. Okay? Whatever it was, I can't remember what it was, 35, 40 million, whatever it was. Okay, because City thought it would take him 2 years to shine. Maybe Paqueta's agent thought the same for him. But Romeo Lavia's ended up going for £58 million. If our buyout clause was 40 million, we could have, bought him back for 40, sold him for 58. We'd have made another 18 million quid. But hey, guys, I always say it is what it is. Wirtz looks like a KDB type player, very rare. Breach is a cash, but how much is he? And when City come knocking, how much higher will his price become? Got to honour the contract and get out next season as you obviously plan to. Yeah, and I got no problem with that, Jamie. He might be unhappy, but like Caicedo stayed an extra 6 months, and it worked out for him. Andy says Wirtz is definitely going to be name banded around as 85 is his release clause next year, so same as Paqueta. So that's the thing. If you couldn't get Paqueta for 70, why would you, pay 85 for Wirtz? Witherspoon. Sadly, Pep may have to deal with a larger team this season. It's too many games for the players to handle. Look, we've done it before. We've played over 60 games. When we won the domestic treble, we got to, what was it, the quarters or semi-final of the Champions League. We were at most 5 games short of playing every game. So we would have played about 60. I think we played 61 or 62 games that season. Played a ton of games. I think we can handle it, but I do think we need bodies. I do think, look at it as we stand. Look at it. KDB's out injured. Stones and Diaz injured. Okay. You had Bernardo ill. Who knows what's going to happen? Hey, Sean, hope you're well, buddy. Oh, cheers, mate. Thanks so much. Akash says sometimes you have to overpay. I think we have, if we paid an extra 50 million for Van Dijk, we wouldn't want Van Dijk because Van Dijk apparently came out and said, I only want to go to Liverpool. So City walked away. We already thought it was too high, and he wanted Liverpool. So why offer 90 million for a player who doesn't want to come to you? Liverpool found out the hard way this summer that they're not the big draw that they used to be, and Caicedo didn't want to go to Chelsea, to Liverpool. He wanted to go to Chelsea. Same with the kid Lavia. Rental says, excuse me, to be fair, if 85 plus is the price, I'd rather go for Wirtz. He's 6 years younger than Paqueta, already at a similar level to Paqueta, and is more valued for money, in my opinion. I've not seen him play. I don't know the difference, honestly, between the two players. I'm just taking your word for it, guys. Oh, cheers, Cash. It's been really, really fantastic. I'm going to pull up the numbers in a second before my battery runs out of my laptop. But the numbers have been phenomenal. I mean, here we go. Let's pull up that thing. Okay. We've got 4,365 subscribers right now. 4 days ago, we brought through 4,000. So we've got 365 in the last 4 days. We've got 2,500 in the last month. But if you see how many videos I put I think 5 videos out yesterday, and put a ton of stuff out. We did I'll tell you the videos quickly that we put out yesterday if you want to go and watch. Cole Palmer, should he stay or should we sell him? Jack Grealish, does he do enough or is he flattering to deceive? I did another video on City, are we boring to watch? I did one on Can Chelsea pass FFP, and with Colin Savage, and then we're talking about Premier League clubs and others that have fallen foul of FFP and other financial dodginess. That's going to, and we've got another subscriber. Thank you, whoever that last subscriber was. It might have been Connor Mahoney subscribed 51 minutes ago, and thanks for joining, Connor. If you're part of this stream, hey, feel free, make a comment. So yeah, we're doing. Channel's done really, really well, and you're obviously going to hope it keeps continuing. Here we go. The other player who's going to be 60 million is Gonçalves. Check his stats; they're amazing. Be in the Portuguese league. Yeah, look, a lot of players come from Portugal, and they're on fire when they're over here. Low fat, more fat. Some of these names. Danny Olmo, I've heard about us being linked with him as well. That's interesting. A cash, the 10 to 15 million mini videos make it in the greenery is a hit. Make more of them, and you, yeah, look, mate, I do that, and people like them, but I'll get more subscribers. Well, they've done really well. Those are the videos that do well. I've been doing them for 5 years. I've been doing those kind of videos for ever since the Man City fan TV days when we were living in France. So, I mean, I like them. It's obviously you get some odd looks at times, and you have to travel sometimes a little bit. You know, if it like when I did one in Chelmsford at the RHS, I was working there, so that was easy. I had had some downtime, made a video. Others, that others I did in Chelmsford, I mean, I had to walk whatever it was, 15 minutes to get to that park, and then walk back to do those videos. So, hey, it was good exercise. Done my Achilles in again because that day I walked over about an hour, 20 minutes or something. Did my Achilles in, but hey, it is what it is, guys. I'm going to wind down because we're running out of battery. That's the truth. Dre says, truth is the world knows KDB's injured and City's position works, so any other high-profile player will be expensive. That's why I said it's time to Skype pulling a Kanji like signing Duo Brighton. Absolutely. Cole Palmer for me. Low fat, more fat is my army nickname. Almost not available. Yeah, Abi actually stated publicly in the last hour. I did see that going through. Hey, just by saying no doesn't mean it ain't going to happen. I think Paqueta is more versatile than Dani Olmo. I know if we got here, Razor West Ham, and I see someone with a brain. My son over Paqueta, definitely top class, and glad he stays with us. Just need a decent coach now instead of Moyes. Hit the guy. Good luck to you again. Yeah, not a lot of love out there for David Moyes these days. I don't think any days. I think obviously, who is it now? Everton were happy for Moyes whilst he was there because he kept them in the league, and they were punching above their weight. But no, he's one of the dinosaur brigade. But hey, he kept you in the whatever happened, he was at the helm as you stayed in the Premier League last season and won the Europa Conference League. So we can knock him, but he's done something good for you. Everybody has a price, absolutely. Everybody Sunday. And truth is, I'm knackered. I haven't got a lot of time. I'll try and watch. I'll certainly watch this. That Works kid. I'll try and get Goncalves. Let's put Goncalves in my thingy. Goncalves. Gone. He's a kid from Sporting Lisbon, I guess. Goncalves. Pedro Gonçalves. Oh, it'll be a soft C with a swiggly bit. Gonçalves. Grealish is good enough. He just needs to get with it. Similar Calvin Phillips to get going. He wants to stay. It's your time to repay that faith. I say, well, I don't think City got the faith in Calvin Phillips or Cancelo. I think they want them both to go. We'll see what happens, guys. Right, that's going to be me lot because I'm doing a stream tonight with a West Ham channel. Trying to remember what time that is. Let's have a quick look. 8 o'clock tonight. So if I can stream that live on our channel as well, I'll do that. We'll stick that out tonight. So hopefully that will happen. It's about 45 minutes long. Said we should get James Maddison 45 million. Low fat, more fat. That's a good call, buddy. Now it's looking a good call. We would have won that conference with no manager, but in spite of Moyes, not because of him. Only decent teammate was Fiorentina. Yeah, they were decent. Take care, guys. Right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for watching the stream. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Hopefully, you can watch the one I'm doing tonight. I'll tell you what channel. Let's see if I can find out the channel. Through BWIs, through Black and White Eyes. That's a Newcastle channel, through Black and White Eyes. I'm doing that tonight. What did I say? West Ham. I'm doing the Newcastle preview tonight. So go and check that out through Black and White Eyes. And I'm doing that stream tonight at 8 p.m. That's a look ahead to the game. Good luck, boys. Take care. Enjoy your afternoons. And fingers crossed, we'll see you around, Blues.